AM 650 KGAB Radio. My name is Glenn Woods. Thanks for joining me. 7:10 is the time. And on the phone with me, feeling just how's the voice hanging in there, Yaron? You okay today?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. I first was introduced to you through PJTV back in those days, and those discussions, Bill Whittle and all of that crowd there. And so that's where I found the Ayn Rand Institute. You're on the board of directors for that?
I am. I'm the chairman.
Okay. And so you're still writing, you're still speaking. So last night it was here at the Wyoming Business Alliance. What did they tell you the purpose was showing up for the Wyoming Business Alliance to speak there? What did they wanted you to talk about?
Well, they wanted me to talk about the virtues of capitalism, and the purpose was really to expand the scope of conversation, to bring in a point of view that maybe is not often brought up. I think we live in a mixed economy world where everybody's a bit of a capitalist and a bit of a statist and a bit of something else as well.
Right.
And they wanted somebody to present the kind of the pure pro-capitalist position.
Okay, because I think as I talk to people that a lot of people forget what capitalism is, and they tend to talk when they say money, that you're out there making money. They tend to say it as in money, as if it's a bad word these days, or working to make a profit and to make more money is a bad thing. I think people think of capitalism in terms that it never really was.
Well, I think that's right. I think people think in terms of profit being something negative. And I think that's been around with us for a long, long time. I don't think that's new. And they don't realize, how do you make a profit? You make a profit by creating a value that other people are willing to pay you for more than what it costs you to produce. And they're willing to pay for you for it because it's a value to them, because it's something they really want, and it's of greater value to them than the money they're willing to give up. So profit is just a reflection of how much value you are creating. At the end of the day, how much value you're creating for other people, for the benefit of other people. So the more profit you make, the greater value you're creating in the world around you. So profit should be a sign of virtue, not a sign of vice.
Sure, and haven't we gotten into a place now where some people think that there are certain tasks that only government can do, and it's simply not possible to have the private sector, like education, for example. You can't have the private sector do education. Government's got to take care of that. Taking care of our roads, that's got to be a government thing. And now here we go, healthcare. Obviously, these big greedy companies can't take care of us. We need government to take care of our healthcare.
Yes, I mean, we're seeing that, and government is taking over more and more and more of the functions of the free market. I think education is a great example. Education, public education, is a lousy product. Maybe in Wyoming, in some places, it's a little better than average. But if you look across the country, public education is a lousy product delivered by government. Just imagine what it would be like if there was competition and innovation, and people were trying to compete on price and on quality. So prices of education would actually decline and quality actually went up. And they would market, they would advertise. They would say, look at our graduation rates, and look at how many of our kids went to college. And you'd have a variety of different schools that matched the customer demand. And what a thought to treat the children or the parents as customers. So, I mean, if we privatized education, which I think is the only way to go, wow, I mean, what a revolution that could be. That could really change American life in profound ways and really up the quality of the education our kids get. And yet, you can't talk about that.
Right. Well, I'm talking to Yaron Brook from the Ayn Rand Institute, who spoke in town at the Wyoming Business Alliance last night. So it seems to me, though, when I talk about that here in these airwaves, I hate to tell you this, Yaron, but the signal expands and we got a huge signal here. This show can be heard down past Denver, and they have hippies down there.
Yep.
And they call the show. And when I talk about things like, well, education and free market can be done in the free market system, just like you did, the calls that I get are, but that leads to inequality, and that's not fair because some people are going to have a better quality product than somebody else in education because, here we go again, they have more money. So don't we need to evenly distribute the money and make education fair?
No, I mean, the fact is that I work really hard, and I've tried to make some money so that I can give my kids the best education possible. There is no such thing as equal opportunities. Many of us work hard so we can create as many opportunities as we can for our kids. And what would be unfair is after I work hard and make some money, then my kid get the same education as somebody who didn't work hard or try as much. But look, the fact is that poor kids in America today get the worst education possible. How can it be any worse than what inner city kids get today from the public education system? Anything we do is going to be better than that. So if you really cared about poor people, if you really cared about poor kids, you would want capitalism, you would want private education. The fact is that capitalism is the only system in human history to bring people out of poverty. It's not the goodwill of people. It's not charity. It's not redistribution of wealth. It's getting a job, working, and saving some money, and that's what brings people out of poverty. So capitalism is the way to go. It's if you care about poor people.
Now, this is going to be interesting. You spoke last night. Dennis Prager will be at the University of Wyoming tonight. From Prager University, you're aware of his radio show and so on. Yeah. And what's interesting is the different terms that you two will use but you got to put them in context, because he wants to talk to the students at the university about why socialism leads to selfishness. Yet that's and what he's doing is he's taking the socialist definition of selfishness and using it against them, using their own definition against them. And yet what you just described is selfishness in a good way, working for your own self-interest.
Absolutely. And Ayn Rand was, she developed a moral code based on the idea of rational self-interest, that the purpose of life was to make the most of your life, to live the best life that you could live and achieve your own flourishing. And that does not mean, it never means exploiting other people, taking advantage of other people, and it does not mean sacrificing yourself for other people. It means living for yourself in a rational, long-term way. And unfortunately, it's unfortunate, I think, that Dennis Prager would use the conventional terminology of selfishness as meaning taking advantage of other people, exploiting other people, working based on your emotions, doing whatever you feel like doing. That's not real selfishness. Anybody who actually acts on his emotions does not lead a successful life, does not flourish. It's not actually in your self-interest. So it would be good if we all consolidated around the same terminology.
Yeah, that would be good too. Okay, well, I do like that he's using their own terminology against them. I think that's kind of a clever ploy there, but we'll see how it goes that night there. Okay, so where are you off from here?
Oh, I give a talk tonight at a high school in Fort Collins.
Okay.
I give another talk in Denver tomorrow, and then I'm off to Europe for something like 10 or 12 talks. Well,
just remember my warning there. Colorado has hippies. I'm just tossing that out there. So if they want to follow, if somebody wants to follow your work, where do they find you?
I have a website, yaronbrookshow.com. It's YARONBROOK show.com, and then aynrand.org, AYNRAND.org.
Okay. Hey, go rest that voice. Appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
7:19 is the time. It's AM 650 KGAB Radio.